Okay, picking up where we left off, question number 11. How did trusts affect competition between businesses? So overall, trusts reduce competition because with businesses combined in trusts, they were basically to act like monopolies, and monopolies reduce competition by having there be less choice for consumers. Number 12, the title Trust Buster is usually applied to President Teddy Roosevelt. Why is this only partially true? Teddy Roosevelt did break up a lot of trusts that he considered bad or harmful to society, but Teddy Roosevelt also considered some trusts to be good trusts. These were allowed to continue to exist, but they were heavily regulated by the federal government. Number 13, why did Roosevelt break up the Northern Securities Company? The Northern Securities Company was a railroad monopoly that hurt consumers by raising the rates for railroad transport. Teddy Roosevelt thought that was hurting competition, so he decided to break it up. 14, Roosevelt considered himself as a steward of the people. What does this mean? Roosevelt thought that it was the president's job to basically protect the common person and kind of look out for them, especially in regards to protecting them from the negative effects of industrialization. Number 15, how did Roosevelt's attitude and actions in the anthracite coal strike differ from previous presidents? So what was unique about Teddy Roosevelt was he was really the first president to take the side of the workers or take the side of labor over management when there was a dispute between labor and management. Roosevelt favored the side of the workers. 16, how did Roosevelt strengthen the power of the Interstate Commerce Commission? So basically, Roosevelt added more people to strengthen the commission overall and to better enforce some of these regulations that existed on railroads. Number 17, what was the significance of the third party or the Progressive Party in the 1912 election? So Teddy Roosevelt decided to run again in the 1912 election as a bull moose progressive. But the effect of this was that it split the Republican vote and allowed Woodrow Wilson, who was a Democrat, to become elected president. 18 described the idea of a progressive or graduated income tax. So essentially, the idea behind a progressive income tax is the more money that someone makes, the higher percentage of that income they have to pay in taxes. Number 19, there are some key amendments we studied to the U.S. Constitution during this unit. The 16th Amendment, the key word is tax, and this amendment allowed for the federal government to charge an income tax. The 17th Amendment, the key word is senators. This amendment allowed for the direct election of senators by the people in each state instead of having the senators appointed by the state legislatures. Number 18, the key word is drinking. This was prohibition, so it banned the sale, manufacture, and transport of alcohol. And finally, 19, the key word is women. The 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote, also known as women's suffrage. Number 20, what is the main purpose of the Federal Reserve System? So the Federal Reserve System is our nation's central bank. And the purpose of the Federal Reserve is to regulate interest rates that are charged on loans and overall regulate the money supply with the idea of stabilizing the economy. 21, by the end of the progressive era, the federal government overall was more involved with the lives of people and more involved with regulating business. And again, the idea is to prevent some of the worst abuses of big business and to try to help out the working people or help out the common man. 22, how is the American Industrial Revolution related to American imperialism? So with the growth of industrialization, many new goods were produced. So this created the need to find new markets to sell these goods. Also, it created a need for more raw materials to be able to produce all these goods that were being made during industrialization. 23, what were some other factors that helped cause U.S. imperialism? The desire for more territory was one, the desire to spread Christianity, competition with other major European powers, the need to acquire naval bases and coaling stations around the world for our ships because sea power was much more important during this time period, and the idea behind the white man's burden, the push to try to civilize other people around the world. Finally, 24, what were some of the causes of the Spanish-American War? Yellow journalism, which exaggerated the mistreatment of the Cubans and pushed public opinion against Spain. The desire to rid the Western Hemisphere of another European colonial power. And finally, the sinking of the battleship of the Maine in Havana Harbor, which got blamed on Spain.